Hey guys, it's Dragon Rockstar here, and I'm coming with a banless update 60 card Lightsworn Turbo shenanigans, if you guys want to call it that way. Yeah, this deck is pretty good based on the new banlist that just came out, and I'm really excited. And I think it just came out today, the day that I'm making this video, which is amazing. This deck works pretty well. It has some rough matchups, mainly against back row decks, which basically can come in handy with the side deck that I'm keeping hidden here for you guys. But it's pretty good of a deck. It works. Yes, it is 60 cards. I'm always going to do a 60 card Lightsworn deck here and there. I will be doing an update deck profile of my Mechanites very soon, so I hope you guys do enjoy it for that one. But for now, this deck pretty much runs pretty well. Consistency is like 50-50. Draw power is 50-50. Like, it's pretty good and consistent based on how I made it. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. So let's go ahead and get started. Like always, come with you the extra deck, main deck, and side deck. So let's go ahead and get started here, guys. Let's start out with the monsters here. Kind of shut the deck a little. There we go. For the boss monsters, basically the dragons, I do 2 Chaos Dragon Levianeers and then the 1 Darkwurm Dragon. Now, the reason why I'm only playing the 1 Darkwurm Dragon is because, even though it came up to 2, really you're only going to ever need 1. Due to the fact that what the banlist did, it hit my Arcane, Guardragon Arcane. It hit him directly. So the deck had a few little change-ups, mainly to the extra deck, but for the main deck, it's pretty much consistent. I had to cut out a couple more monsters because I want to incorporate a few different monsters into the deck to give more dark power in the deck. That way my Allure of Darkness can go off a little quicker. So that's why I put Darkwurm Dragon as well in here, because since you're going to have so many darks in the graveyard, it's more consistent to even summon him out, and he basically be your Black Hole Soldier on the beginning. Like, that's basically what he'll be. He'll be the one guy that pops a few cards off the board so you can get an OTK out. But 2 Chaos Dragon Levianeers, the reason why I'm 2 Chaos Dragon Levianeers is just 3 is overdrawn, 2 is fine, it's consistent, and due to the fact of one of the other dragon monsters in the deck, it makes it twice as easier to search. So, really, you're only going to ever need 2. That's it for the big monsters. For the Lightsworn engine, like always, I am a Lightsworn fan, so I always play Lightsworns. 2 Raidens, triple Wulf, and double Felis. Beforehand, I was playing triple Felis. Now, the reason why I'm playing double Felis is because I needed a few more darks in the deck. That way I could get the consistency of Allure of Darkness to go off, like I'm saying. It's just, and plus Felis is usually a dead monster in your hand. The only time you ever get a chance to get him out is when you have either Sage or Scoldred on the board, if you have solar recharges in your hand. So really, Felis is kind of dead. Wulf is okay. You can get him out couple of ways, special summoning him, you know, things of that nature. And then Raiden is just Raiden. He's basically your second best normal summon in the deck. So that's it for the Lightsworns. For the Plant Engine, I cut the Plant Engine down. I run triple Predaplant for Scorpio, the 1 Cobra, and the 1 Glow Ball. I cut out Lone Fire Blossom due to the fact I kept seeing it way more often. Like, I'll end up having 2 in my hand, 1 in my hand, even though this is a 60 card deck. So I cut it out, and most often you'll see 1 based on your draw powers, based on your milling powers. You barely ever will see this in your hand. You'll probably end up getting this once in a blue moon. Literally, this is just the worst card to have in your hand, but it's too good not to play. You need to play it in order to play this, but in reality, this card is pretty good. It helps you get the Brilliant Fusion, it basically helps you get combo started. And then you got the Glow Ball, just another mill, specifically. For the Clown Engine, you got the 1 Damage Juggler, the 1 Hat Tricker, and 1 Trick Clown. There's been time to time when you only need, you want to play 2 of these, but most often you want to only just play 1. And then Damage Juggler is at 2. You really only ever need 1. If you play 2, you can do better. not trying to be mean. I think Damage Juggler is good at only a 1 anyways. 2 is just overdrawn unless you're playing a more of a Lightsworn deck. Then you probably get 2 in the graveyard. Your opponent call buys the first one. You can activate the second one and get off. Me, most often I don't have a problem with my opponent hitting this with call buy. It just gives me more chances to play more of my combos than anything. And then you got Trick Clown. Trick Clown's only good at 1. So, yeah. That's it for the clowns. For a small, I got a small danger lineup. Now, the dangers are pretty useful in this deck because you are also still, they're all dark, so it makes it easier for Allure of Darkness to go off. I play the very best one, which is Danger Mouthman. It's very more consistent. It helps mess up your opponent as well as gives you more plays to go off. Double Jackalope, double Snake, and double Nessie. They're all self-explanatory. They all do what they do best. If you don't know dangers, this one basically says if it's like they all have the ability if your opponent calls the wrong card or you reveal this card in your hand, you get to draw a card and special summon it. But they all have separate effects. This one allows you to both make you and your opponent discard a card from your hand to draw a card, then discard a card. Jackalope allows you to special summon from deck. This allows you to special summon himself from the graveyard if he's discarded, and Nessie allows you to add a danger monster from your deck to your hand if it's discarded. So they all have very, very good, powerful effects, and they all play out pretty well. If Konami was be a little nicer, they should bring back Nessie to more than 1. I think the others were specific good hits, but I think Nessie can come back to 1 more. But overall, these dangers pretty much play pretty well. I love the dangers. Everyone should know what the dangers do. Then for another, I play a spicy tech in the deck. I play triple Destiny Hero Malicious, and I'm not playing Destiny Hero Destiny Draw. The reason why I'm not playing Destiny Draw is because this is the only Destiny Hero monster I play in the deck. The reason why I play Destiny Hero Malicious is just it's more consistency. Back then he was at 2. I feel that 2 wouldn't really do much. So I feel 3 will basically be overpowered. Malicious is malicious. It'll go on and off on the ban list so many times. It's just, it's malicious. Malicious is broken how it is. Basically, malicious is basically banish yourself, special summon itself. Banish yourself, special summon itself. And if you play Pot of Acquisitiveness, I think that's what it's called, you target 3 of your banished monsters and put them back into your, shuffle them back into your, I think it was 3 banished monsters, shuffle them back into your deck, and then draw a card. So you can just go off of combos there. I feel that Malicious is broken, so I figured I should play it. He's also dark, so it makes it, if he is dead in your hand, you have Allure of Darkness, you can go off from there. For the Chaos Engine part of this, you got 1 Collapserpant, 1 Wyverbuster, both self-explanatory. Everybody should know what they do. This one, if you have a Light Engrave, special summon it. If you have a Dark Engrave, special summon it by banishing those targets. And then if this one leaves the field, add this one, or if this one leaves the field, add this one. So it's both self-explanatory. Double Destrudo, and then the 1 Supreme King Dragon Darkwurm. Destrudo, self-explanatory. The reason why I'm not playing 3 Destrudos is most often you don't really need a 3rd one. Once you get 1 in the graveyard, you basically can start off in there. And the Supreme King is just in the just for one of the spells I play. That's the reason why I play him at 1. Plus, he gives you a level 4 monster on the board, which is really, really needed in the deck. You do got Omen Dragon Brotaur. Brotaur is to help you get Darkwurm Dragon to your hand, or Chaos Dragon Levianeer to your hand. That's why I only play 1 of Darkwurm Dragon and also 2 Chaos Dragon Levianeers. That's the only reason why I play him at 2 and 1. It's because of him. He allows you to search out the targets. You got 1 World Chalice Guardragon. He's self-explanatory. He basically gets you the combo started right away. Once you synchro with it, you just basically get combo. Then you got the 1 Blackwing, Zephyros the Elite, allows you to get rid of that Brony Fusion off the board. That way you can go off with a few more combos if you don't have game already. And then you got the one Garnet, because it's Garnet, and I play Brilliant Fusion. Self-explanatory. For the spell cards, I do play triple Charge Alert Brigade, triple Solar Recharge, and then triple Allure of Darkness. Basically, these are your combo starters. These basically get you there. Charge Alert Brigade, self-explanatory. You do play Lightsworn, so you gotta play it. Solar Recharge, get rid of that dead Felis and Wulf, and Allure of Darkness, because you play so many darks in the deck. So that's why I play them all at their 3s. So they're all pretty broken. Allure of Darkness does have its fallback point. If you don't have one of the darks in your hand, which is least likely you will, but if you don't have a dark in your hand, you basically have a whole hand of spells. I would recommend pretty much setting all the spells and just go up from there. I learned from that mistake. For the quick play and only quick play spell card I played in my deck, which is triple Frozen Rose. Now what this does is, due to the fact you play so many you play dangers that basically get on the board, you play a lot of monsters that basically summon themselves to the board. You could tribute those monsters, search out Predaplant over Scorpio, and then go combo. This right here allows you to add that plant monster from you. Once you tribute a non-plant monster on your side of the board, you can add a plant monster from your deck to your hand. So it basically allows you to get the one combo started. So it allows you to get your combo to go through. Devil Dragon Shrine, because the Supreme King, Darkwurm, and also Destrudo help you get the dragons in the graveyard. Sometimes you can send World Chalice Guardragon if your opponent negates your Ib combo. So either or. For the special summon cards, you do play the 1/1/1, 1 Brilliant Fusion as the monster, as like the ways you can special summon a lot. 1/1 is new in the deck for me. The reason I'm playing it is because sometimes I can get Brotaur on the board. I can get another monster on the board, so I can use Frozen Rose, tribute that monster, and just go off a combo as well. So it just helps me get another monster on board. 1 Foolish Burial, just to help you get whatever I need in the graveyard. It's basically like Dragon Shrine. The 1 Monster Reborn and the 1 World Legacy Sensation. Now these are awesome needed in the deck. Basically this is for your Ebb combo, just to help you get another card in your hand so you can use it to get more monsters on board. And then this is just for the hell of it. You basically use whatever you want and need for anybody's graveyard for your combos. And then for the last 2 cards in my deck, I do play the 1 trap card, Imperial Order. Imperial Order is needed for the main board you're trying to make. Like the other deck, that deck, you're making specifically 1 board. This deck, you're doing the same exact thing. You're making the same board if you can. It does have some fallback points, because like the other deck, it was more consistent, basically, on trying to make that board. This deck is, if you want to make that board, you can. If you can make the board, you can. So this is more of a different variant. You play the Archlord Kristya as well. This is another monster, but I consider him being more like Imperial Order, because it's basically a card. Once you get these 2 on board, your opponent looks at you like, okay, scoop. Because Archlord Kristya basically says, neither player can special summon monsters. Imperial Order says, spell cards are basically useless now. So basically you put these 2 on your opponent, and then Nightmare Griffin on your opponent, and your opponent looks at you like, that's game. Because they can't really do anything. So that's why I like these 2 basically by themselves. These are just broken, in my personal opinion, in this type of deck. Because you're getting so much mill power to get them into the graveyard. Once you get them in the graveyard, you can get them back out using Nightmare Griffin and then World Legacy Sensation. Let's go ahead and go for the extra deck, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the extra deck. For the extra deck, you do play the 1 Beautiful Minerva as one of the rank 4s, and then you play number 60 as another rank 4. The reason why you play number 60 is just to help you get more draw power in the deck. This is why draw power is really needed. Its other effects is not really that needed, but once you get the draw power to go off, you just basically probably start off with a lot of good combo pieces, and your opponent looks at you like, dang. And then Minerva is because it's Minerva. Self-explanatory. Minerva is just bae. I still play the Azathoth. Now, the reason why I still play the Azathoth is because sometimes you'll be going against your opponent, and they'll have Nibiru in their hand, or they'll try to bluff you. So you could go to Azathoth just to make sure your opponent doesn't mess you up with your combos. And most often you will go in Azathoth the very first turn. You do got Ib, the World Chalice, just here. I think that's, I hope I didn't butcher that name wrong. She's really needed for the combo. She helps you get through there. You do play the one FA Don Dragster. It's self-explanatory. You can summon it with Destrudo, Synchro for a 7, bring him out, and it gives you another negate on board. You got the one Warlord Savage. Warlord Savage is just self-explanatory. He's just a good monster to come for. Gemini Seraphinite for the Brilliant Fusion, self-explanatory. There's been times where I used him to link away more than I ever... I used him once for synchro summoning. Back then, in the when I was playing, when the Guardragon Archlord was still alive, I used him for a synchro summon to help me get the hot red monster on the board, using Glow Up Bolt and I think Predaplant or for Scorpio as well as him. Got me, I think it was, yeah, it was them three, which got me the hot red, so there's been only that time. You guys could run Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss in this deck. You can, it's least likely you'll summon them all the time, but it can get you another free negate on board. There's some other cards you could tech in, maybe a couple more synchros you might want to run in. You got the, let me think for a second, guys. There's a bunch of synchro monsters you could run in the deck, such as like Stardust Dragon, Stardust Spark Dragon. You got Black Rose. You got the Cyberus monster you could run in this, the Synchro 7 Cyberus monster you can run in here. There's so many good synchros you can run in this deck to help you get more consistency. But I still kept the same links, somewhat of the same links in the extra deck. For instance, you still got the Guardragon LP and then Heretic Seal. The Heretic Seal. They're both self-explanatory. They're also needed for the combo, because once you bring Heretic Seal on the board, you already used LP. LP's probably be in the graveyard. You basically have a way to stop your opponent on their combos, basically. So this is really good of an engine. I do play the one Nightmare Cerberus. This is just because of Link Arrows issues. Nightmare Phoenix can do very well if you guys want to play Nightmare Phoenix. I choose to run Nightmare Cerberus because I need another Earth monster on the board. Sometimes that'd be my way to go, just to help me get out Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion. Like, this basically can help me get that out a little quicker. Curious is basically just helps you get more combos off. Then you do play the one Blackluster Soldier of Chaos, or Blackluster Soldier of the Chaos. He's basically another way to he's basically a boss monster. Once you have like 3 useless monsters on board and you need something to summon out, or you have your extra deck zone and you need something to summon out a little bit better, you could summon him up to the extra deck zone and get a couple more monsters on board just to go for game. Like, he's basically there just for game, in my personal opinion. I only used him for game because he's pretty broken based on that. You do play the one Nightmare Griffin. Nightmare Griffins, like I said, help you get imperial order to the from your graveyard set on the board, so you can play it during your opponent's turn. It's pretty broken how it is. Then you play the last Link 4 is Sayuja Scoldred. You guys could play 2 Sayuja Scoldreds in the deck. I personally will not play 2 because of the consistency issues. Sometimes that second Sayuja Scoldred might not even ever be used. Sometimes it will. It just depends on the consistency of the deck and how well you really want to dig through your deck so much. Me, it's more like, if I get Predaplant over Scorpio in my hand, I got game. So it doesn't really matter how. So that's pretty much it for the extra deck, which is a pretty decent extra deck. Then the specialty of the whole entire thing is my side deck. My side deck is based on every deck that I will pretty much end up going against. Then you got my Raiden token. You got my Light Pulsar token and my Raiden token. Everybody knows this now. But for my side deck, it's more of a spicy way to, instead of using like Artifact Lancia, I use Chaos Hunter. The reason why I play Chaos Hunter is because when your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding one card. So basically, it's like I can special summon this to my board once you special summon by discarding a card, so I get me a resource in my graveyard, and then you can't banish anything. So this is amazing going against Thunder Dragons. Now, would I really play this in a big tournament? No. But is it a really good side deck for like locals and regionals? Yes. This is a pretty good card for you to use in those two events. It's good against Thunder Dragons and specifically. It's also good against any other deck that banishes a whole lot. You just gotta play it carefully. Plus, it gives you a 25 beatstick body on board. If you guys really desperately want to use him and then use a rank 8 in your main deck, you could. You could probably take out number 60 if that doesn't really work out very well for you. You could take out Minerva if that doesn't work out for you. You could probably play number 38, or you could play number 60, or not number 6, number 68. There you go. You could play either of those two rank 8s. They're pretty broken how it is. Number 68 does kind of similar to Chaos Hunter, which basically hurts. This is just mainly hate against Thunder Dragons because I have a good feeling that Thunder Dragons is going to be a heavy thing in this format now. To defect Sky Strikers is basically kind of dead now. So, yeah. Then, for those heavy combo decks, sometimes you don't know which kind of combo deck you're going against. So I played double Nibiru and double the Wind Dragon Raw Spear Mode. Now, Spear Mode is against certain matches, and Nibiru is against a lot of good matches. If you're going against another combo-heavy deck, you basically want to side deck Nibiru just to basically be like, I play a different deck, so I'm going to hurt you and go off of my combos. And then Raw Spear Mode is just in case you really can't. Nibiru, you're not seeing Nibiru so much, I'll end up side decking all 4 of these to see them in my hand. If I have both of these in one hand, that's good, because that way I can get rid of my opponent's stuff, as well as get rid of some more combo pieces. So like this right here is pretty good of a lineup. If you don't really know what kind of format you're going into, like you don't know what you're going in, you could play 2-2 and see how that works for you guys. This is what I've been doing and testing out lately. But yeah. Triple Dark Ruler No More. This is self-explanatory. It's basically help you go against. This basically is good against every deck in the game. It helps you go off. Triple Twin Twister for back row heavy decks, and then triple Evenly Match for also back row heavy decks. So you're going against like certain decks. You can play Evenly Match. Your opponent looks at you like, oh crap, what am I going to do now? Because they have to figure out, do I want to waste my resource on that? Do I want to waste my other resources on something else? And Twist Twister is just self-explanatory. Twist Twister helps you get rid of problematic cards you can't deal with. Now this is my variant of the deck. I might change the side deck depending on the format, depending on what decks I go against or I end up going against. But otherwise, this deck does pretty well. The main, I'm going to show you the kind of board you'll probably end up on. You'll probably end up on a board such as, you'll have Heretic Seal up here. Scoot these down a little. You have Heretic Seal there. Nightmare Griffin here. Trying to figure out what else. Give me a second, guys. You probably have F.A. Don Dragster here. Where is he? He's towards the bottom, I think. You'll have probably Archlord Kristya here, and then Imperial Order set. Well, you're probably going to play it as well. Then you'll have, there he is, Warlord Savage. So this is probably the main board you usually want to go for. Archlord Kristya basically says Neo player can special summon monsters. Nightmare Griffin basically says if you were to special summon a monster, it has to be linked in order to get this effect. Heretic Seal basically says anything you summon, I can just bounce right back. Imperial Order basically says I can do whatever I want. F.A. Dark Dragster basically says I can negate anything. Warlord Savage says, hello, I can negate anything as well. Well, FI Dark Directioner mainly negates like spells and traps. So if your opponent tries to use evenly match against you, you can use FI Dark Directioner to stop that. Pre-order basically says spell cards are no-no. Roller Savage just basically can negate anything. So if your opponent tries to play something, you have two negates, as well as this negate. Then Archlord Kristya, like I said, it's just neither player can special summon. This is a broken board, in personal opinion. But this is usually the board you probably end up going in a lot. If you guys can't go into this board all the time, you probably end up on the board with Borderless Savage here and go off from there. So the deck is pretty consistent to make those type of boards. You just gotta be cautious on your resources. Sorry if I've talked a lot in this video. I'm sorry about that, guys. It's been a while since I've been uploading videos lately. I'm sorry for that. Work has been hectic. I've been working a lot more, trying to get the cards I need just to finish a lot of my other decks, so I can come up with those videos for those decks. But overall, I hope you guys do enjoy my 60 card Lightsworn Turbo variant deck, if you guys want to put it that way. This is from the post-ban list, so I hope you guys do enjoy this as well. Even though Darkworm Dragon I'm not running at 2, I would probably end up boosting it up to 2, or maybe side decking the second one. I just don't know yet. But for now, this is a pretty consistent deck how it is. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. And like always, Dragon Rockstar is signing out. Peace.